sharing is the biggest issue facing media corporations and artists in today's world. Americans in particular are downloading files from the internet in record numbers. So, what exactly is file sharing? The Microsoft Corporation defines file sharing as making files on a computer accessible to others on a network, free of charge and without monetary credit being given to the producer of the content. Over 60 million people in the United States have used file sharing. That's more than the number of people who voted for our current president. A great portion of the media exchange involves music. 58% of the music obtained by Americans is not paid for. Sites such as uTorrent and the Pirate Bay are hives for consumers to download and upload media.
I'll drive, you shoot!
We now live in a world that is super saturated with freely accessible material. Anyone is now free to make unlimited copies of files digitally without using any kind of complicated software or hardware. This has become problematic due to copyright laws.
Bring it!
A survey taken at the University of Washington reported these findings. 45% of the students surveyed primarily enjoyed accessing content via file sharing for free. However, 18% liked the accessibility of getting the content at their convenience via file sharing.
I like file sharing because it's free.
I think file sharing is convenient.
File sharing has a big selection.
I file share because it's free, it's convenient, and there's a lot of stuff that I don't really want to pay for.
Because it's totally free.
The most popular reason Americans file share is because it's free. People don't want to pay for media content if they can access it at no cost to themselves. Accessibility and convenience are the secondary driving factors to file share. In today's world, people are busier than ever with time becoming a precious commodity. Media such as movies and music are easily obtained from the internet, and this time-saving feature is appealing to consumers of content. Curiosity and wanting to be informed of the latest trends are also catalysts promoting the file-sharing craze. In particular, the high school and college-age generation want to enjoy the latest movies, music, and games as soon as possible. But how does file sharing affect the actual producers of content everyone seems to want? We interviewed Dwayne Decker, a video game music composer. He has produced the scores for popular video games including Rise of Nations and MechWarrior, and is directly affected by file sharing.
If you can't profit or make a living off of your work, then why would you do it? And when you look at the bigger picture of how many recording artists there are, how many movie stars, etc., you figure 1 or 2% of the entire artist population is actually making a living off of their craft. And out of those 1 or 2%, how many are really rich? But a lot of people think that, oh, well, you know, you've got a record or you've got a movie, you must be rich. You know, most artists and even actors and stuff are not rich. There's a very, very select few that can afford the houses in Beverly Hills and all that stuff. So when you disrespect copyright or try to file share, you're actually taking money away from that 98% as well as that 2% that could actually make a living off of their art.
The companies that make content are worried about it being pirated. In other words, they see this as their property, it legally is their property, and they want to be able to charge you to use it.
Right.
And so they're working hard on technologies that will prevent you from file sharing in a wholesale way. I imagine that they're never going to care too much about whether you share a file with your sister or your brother.
Right.
But I do think that they're probably pretty worried about you sharing your files with the rest of the University of Washington students, because that would mean a loss of lots of revenue for them. And so technology that makes pirating more difficult is something that's clearly on their agenda, and I think you'll see them aggressively trying to use technology to limit file sharing and to protect their profits in the process.
With so many people file sharing and finding ways to access media content, it has greatly changed the way copyright has been interpreted. But with such anonymity over the internet and laws that are hard to enforce, is this possibly the end of copyright authority of online content?
The composer, artist, whoever, should have the right to say, and always has, to say and profit from and gain exposure from their work. Just because people are taking that work and not respecting it doesn't mean that it's antiquated. It just means that people are not educated enough to understand what intellectual property is, why it's important in the long run to retain artists' rights, because eventually you won't have artists anymore.
Both sides of the issue have good reasons for their positions, but how can the two sides ever come to a consensus? Some solutions proposed by big media companies have drawn criticism. The Recording Industry Association of America and the Motion Picture Association of America have proceeded to sue those that have distributed their content without proper authorization. Other companies such as NBC have decided to embrace file sharing by releasing TV shows on its own website. NBC and ABC have started to pay writers and marketers specifically to attract file sharers. This has led to more people being able to benefit from the free and legal distribution of media content. Corporations are finding ways to address copyright issues and persuade those who currently file share to try legal alternatives that can benefit the producers. There is no doubt that file sharing is detrimental to producers of content, but through the solutions proposed by corporations such as NBC, compromises can be made that will support copyright laws as well as those who want access to online media.
And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I feel so good. I feel so good.